Welcome back, friends. My name is Brianna, and for those of you who are new here on this channel, we make videos about homemaking, decor, cooking, and cleaning, and finding that work-home life balance, all from the perspective of a busy nurse mom. If that is something that you are interested in, I would love to see you stick around. Please hit that subscribe button down below so that you can be a part of this community of other nurse moms who are here to lift each other up with positivity, show one another support, and help each other to find that balance in our lives that we all crave. So today, we are continuing on to part 2 of a series that we have started on this channel for the holidays that talks about prepping for Christmas or the holidays in general as a busy nurse mom. On the last video, which I will link below, we talked about some tips such as getting a holiday planner or any kind of planner for that matter so that we can map out everything that we need to do in the months ahead during the holidays. Also, we had talked about making sure that we are asking for days off from our work to be able to be home and have enough time to do all of these tasks that we need to do to get ready for the holidays. We talked about making sure that we have those requests in to our directors, and we also took a look at some different Christmas things that Emery and I saw at Big Lots and at Walmart so that we can start planning our Christmas decorations for our house this year, which I am so excited about. Christmas is my absolute favorite season to decorate for, and I am super excited to bring you guys along with us this year to do that. In today's video, part 2, I've made a list for you to help make the holidays go a little bit smoother. Number 1 in today's video tip is delegation. So in nursing school, we have entire classes centered around nursing delegation. Us as registered nurses, we have other people, like a whole team, working under our license, and we have to know how to delegate tasks to the people on our team, correct? So that we can manage things better and that we can show up and be there for the things that are most important that need our expertise. So other people can do the things that we necessarily don't have to be there for, but still have to be done. And I'm thinking that during the holidays, this would be a good idea to apply to our lives as well. And I'll tell you first off that I am the world's worst at wanting to do everything myself. I don't know that it's like a control thing. I just think that, I like to do things a certain way, and I want to strive for perfectionism, which I know is unrealistic and that we shouldn't be doing that. So this year I'm going to try to delegate tasks. And I mean, when I say delegate tasks, like, my sister, I'm gonna call her and say, hey, for Christmas dinner or for Thanksgiving, do you think you could bring this dish? Or, my mom, do you think that you could bring this? Talking to my husband and asking him, giving him the task, of making sure that the front porch looks decent and that the leaves are blown off and that the yard looks tidy and that everything is presentable for when people come over. I was listening to a podcast this week by Jen Spiegel. I'll link her podcast below because she said something that really hit home with me, and I wanted to share that with you guys today. She said, you are able to have it all without having to do it all. And I was like, wait a minute, what? And then she went on to explain further, like, you can have it all and have the perfect holiday, but you don't have to do it all. And I was just like, what? I don't. Because I think that the holidays stress me out mostly because I am trying to do it all myself. I want everything to look good. I want everything to look perfect and everybody have a good time and the meal tastes fantastic and everything is done to perfection. But let's be serious, ladies. These are unrealistic expectations for anyone. And the pressure that we put on ourselves, especially during the holidays, is just too much. It's unrealistic. So this season, together, let's make a pact to use our nursing delegation skills to delegate tasks to other family members to help us out with this holiday, to make things go smoother. We can have it all. We can have the perfect Christmas. We can have the perfect Thanksgiving, but we don't have to do it all. Let that sink in for a moment. Now, moving on to tip number 2, making things ahead of time that can be frozen is going to be a big time saver for me. And I don't know why I never thought of this before, but freezer meals are awesome, especially for us girls that are working these 12 to 15 hour shifts. We're away from home a lot. So when we are home, preparing ahead of time is really important, because a lot of responsibilities that we would normally be having at home fall to our spouses or our significant other, or to our children for that matter. And it's hard on them having to pick up those extra responsibilities that we would normally be doing because we're not able to be home. So I'm thinking between now and Christmas, if there are things that I can do, that I can make and cook and freeze, that would be perfect, because then when it comes time for these big holiday dinners, all I have to do is bring certain things out, set them out to thaw, and put them in the oven. And that is such a huge time saver. If you have 30 minutes extra time and you have some vegetables that are going in a dish, chop them up, seal them up, put them in the freezer, and that way when it's time for you to make your dish, you are that much further ahead come Christmas Day, because we don't want to spend all of our Christmas Day and Christmas Eve and Thanksgiving or whatever holiday we're preparing for being stressed out, running around trying to do everything. We want to be able to enjoy it with our families. We want to be able to be present in these moments with our children and to be able to see the looks on their faces as they are enjoying the holidays too. And I don't know about you guys, but that's something that I always feel like during the holidays that I miss out on. So today I wanted to show you one of my favorite holiday recipes that is such a huge hit with my family. It's something that we make every year, and the kids always look forward to this dish, and it is a pumpkin roll. The pumpkin roll is something that tastes amazing, everybody loves, and it can be frozen. You can make it ahead of time, up to, a month ahead of time. Put it in the freezer, and then when it comes time for Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving or whatever holiday again that you're prepping for, simply take it out and thaw it, and then slice it up. Bam! Pumpkin roll. I'm going to link the recipe for this pumpkin roll below for you. I have made a free printable for you so that you can print this recipe out so that you can try it with your family. Let me know in the comments below if you like the pumpkin roll, what your family's thought of it. If you're not following me on Instagram yet, please follow me over there too, Brianna_Ball. And I will have a lot of behind the scenes, between video action as far as Christmas and Thanksgiving goes. So let's get cooking. Follow me to the kitchen. So we're now in the kitchen. I've got my oven preheating at 350 degrees. The first thing on our list is 3 eggs. I have everything sitting out here. A tip that my grandmother told me, all of my grandmothers were great bakers, but one tip that my grandmother taught me about baking is that she says all of your ingredients do so much better cooking in the oven together and making everything look uniform if everything is already at room temperature. So I've had all my ingredients laying out for a little bit, letting everything that I would normally keep in the refrigerator get to room temperature. So the first step is to beat our eggs on high for 5 minutes and then gradually beat in the sugar. So we're going to crack our 3 eggs into our mixer. While this is going for 5 minutes, I can be preparing some of my other dry ingredients while this is mixing.
We talk for hours on end.
Okay, now that our 5 minutes is up, we need to gradually beat in the sugar. So I'm going to turn on my mixer and I'm just going to slowly pour the sugar in and let it beat in.
Yes, from this Christmas on, this Christmas on.
step is to stir in our pumpkin and our lemon juice. Put the rest in there. Okay, now let's mix this up. I'm gonna add the lemon juice while this is mixing into the pumpkin also. And this is what our pumpkin mixture should look like. The next step is to stir together all of our dry ingredients, and I have put them all into a bowl while the eggs were beating. I'm gonna get a dry whisk and just kind of stir that together. So let's just get these mixed up really well and blend it all together for when we fold it into our pumpkin mixture. We've stirred together our dry ingredients, and now it is time to fold it into the pumpkin mixture, it says. So I'm just gonna take one bowl and add to the other. Something else that my grandmother always said when she was baking that stuck with me is that when it comes to breads of any kind or doughs, like let's say biscuits or pie crust or pumpkin roll bread, that the least amount of time that you can stir it, the better. You don't want to over stir it because she says that it makes it tough. Baking tips with Nanny. Some of my best memories are with my grandmothers in the kitchen cooking. Okay, so following Nanny's advice, I think we're gonna stop stirring here because everything looks like it's mixed well. There aren't any lumps. The recipe actually says to preheat your oven to 375, but this oven cooks so hot. Like, I end up burning everything. I'm still not used to cooking on it because I've not really had it that long, and it seems to be super hot. So I set mine at 350, so you may have to adjust your oven temperature depending on how your oven cooks, and you know, you're used to your oven, so just do whatever temperature you feel is best on that. This says to put this into a greased and floured 10 by 15 inch jelly roll pan. Now, I'm gonna be honest here, I don't really know what a jelly roll pan is, and you would think as much as I like to bake, I would know what a jelly roll pan is, but for all of the years, like 15 plus that I have been making this pumpkin roll, I've just used like literally a cookie sheet or something to put them on. So we're gonna grease our pan and get this pumpkin roll mixture poured onto it so that we can get it into the oven. We have our pan here. Let's spray it with some nonstick spray. And I spray along these edges of the pan really well because in past years I have noticed that that is where my pumpkin roll wants to stick. And if your pumpkin roll bread sticks to any piece of this pan and tears, it will ruin you being able to roll it up and it look pretty. Now I am going to spread my pumpkin roll mixture that we made evenly onto this pan. Another thing that this reminds me of that my grandmother was always picky about is getting every last drop out of the bowl. She had this thing about wasting any ingredients, and as a child it was always like really disappointing to me because I wanted to lick the bowl. And she was always wanting to use like literally every drop. So she would use her little rubber spatula to get every last drop out of that bowl because she did not want to waste any of her ingredients. So now I'm just kind of working on spreading this evenly onto my pan here so that I can have a nice even pumpkin bread to make this roll with. There we have our pumpkin mixture, and we are going to pop this into the oven.
It's gonna be you and me decorating the tree from this Christmas sun. From this Christmas.
Because, like I said before, my oven cooks extremely hot. So I'm going to check it at 10 and just see how it is. Okay, so our pumpkin roll bread is finished. I did end up going about 15 minutes on the lower setting, the lower temperatures. One of the ways that I always know that it's getting close to done is I'm looking at these edges here, and you can see how they've kind of separated from the pan. That is how, like, they pulled away from the edges of the pan, and that is how I know. And then in the middle, if I am kind of touching it, like, it's spongy, but nothing's coming back off of my hands. That is how I know that my pumpkin bread is ready. Now, to me, this is the hardest part. So what I've got here is a tea towel cloth. This is something that my grandmother always used to bake with. She rolled out her pie crusts on it. She did everything baking on a tea towel cloth, and she always folded it up, put it in a Ziploc bag, and kept it in the freezer, and it was used only for that. So you can tell this one has been pretty used over the years too. It's kind of ratted on the ends, but this is my baking tea cloth towel. So I'm gonna get out another mitt here because my pan is still hot. So what I'm wanting to do is transfer this bread onto this tea cloth without ripping it apart, and that is the hard part. And actually, I think I'm just gonna go around the edges of this pan with a little butter knife just to make sure I've gotten all of my edges separated, because I can see a little piece right here that's still stuck to the pan, and that's the spot right there that's gonna ruin my beautiful pumpkin roll. I'm gonna go around the edges, making sure that all of them are unstuck, and we sprayed our edges extra just to make sure, remember? So they're all looking good. Just gonna quickly turn this over and hope that it comes out in one piece. Oh my gosh, it's folded up. Okay, it's all right. It's all right. You just have to catch it before it starts breaking. And kind of smooth it out. Like I said, this is the toughest part for me, because when your bread falls apart, it really sucks. Okay, so we've got that smoothed out. See this piece right here that is cracked? We will just use this end right here for the center of our roll when we roll it up. So since we're gonna use this end for the middle, let's turn it around here. And while this thing is still hot, we are going to roll it up. Trying to keep it together here. So I'm gonna fold this towel right here, and I'm just gonna start to roll this bread while it's hot. I'm just gonna roll it with the towel and all. So this is what I'm ending up with right here, this little rolled bread. And now this is going to go into the refrigerator, and it's going to chill for 30 minutes, and that is what's going to help it keep its shape. So we're going to go pop this into the fridge and get it chilled, and then while it is chilling, we will make the inside of our pumpkin roll. Okay, let's get this guy into the fridge. We're just going to pop it in here in this drawer and just let it hang out in there for about 30 minutes. Now that our pumpkin roll bread is rolled up and put in the refrigerator to chill for 30 minutes, we are gonna make the inside of the pumpkin roll. And this is my favorite part, because anything with cream cheese in it really has my heart. My recipe calls for 8 ounces of cream cheese and 4 tablespoons of butter, but I like it to be a little bit thicker in the middle, so I double this recipe. Don't forget to download the free printable in the description box. You are gonna love it. And on the filling part of that printable, I have already doubled that recipe so that you can have the extra thick center just like I do, because that is my favorite part. This recipe calls for 8 ounces of cream cheese, and I am going to use double that. Now, I probably won't realistically use all of this filling, But what I do with the extra is add a little bit of pumpkin to it, and I use it as a dip for like graham crackers or Nilla wafers, and it's such a good like pumpkin dip or like spread for different cookies. So we've got our cream cheese. Next, it calls for 4 tablespoons of butter, but since we're doubling this recipe, we are going to do 8. And I did not even realize when I bought this butter that it comes in half sticks that are already 4 tablespoons. Isn't that cute? I didn't even know they came that way. Anyway, side note. I'm gonna use my mixer for this as well because I don't have very good hand strength. And sometimes cream cheese, even though it's softened, is tough for me to mix. So I do use the mixer for that also. Next, we need a half a tablespoon of vanilla. We're using a whole tablespoon since we're doubling this recipe. I'm gonna actually mix up the vanilla and the cream cheese and the butter first, and then I'm gonna start incorporating in my powdered sugar. And I'm going to start adding in a little bit of my powdered sugar. I love these little storage containers that I find at Walmart. They are amazing for storing my things in my pantry, like flour, sugar, oats, cereal, you name it, and they have a container for it. These are like my absolute favorite. You can see how they kind of lock and unlock on the top. It seals everything and keeps everything so fresh because I cannot stand to go into the pantry to get something and to take it out and it's stale. That drives me crazy. These are amazing. I will link them in the description box below in case you want to check them out also. And if you guys have a favorite mixer that you like, let me know in the comments below so that I can start keeping my eye out for a good mixer. If my older kids were here, they would be going nuts over the beaters right now. Do your kids lick the beaters after you get finished baking something? I know when I was a kid, that was like the highlight of the baking, is getting to lick all of the beaters. Okay, so we have our filling. This is our middle. And then here is our pumpkin roll out of the refrigerator. So I am just going to gently unroll this bread. Actually, I think I'm gonna roll it from the side because I wanna roll it back up this way. I'm going to start spooning our mixture onto the bread. So you can spread this on just as thick or as thin as you like it. Now, we have our middle. We are going to start gently lifting the ends here away from our tea towel and rolling them back the way they came. Here is our beautiful pumpkin roll, all rolled up with the center. Now I am going to sprinkle some powdered sugar on top of this, and that will probably help make it a little bit less sticky also. So that did make it like a lot less sticky. That's good. Now I just need it to hold together. So I'm going to wrap this in some saran wrap and some clear plastic wrap, and I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator for at least another 30 minutes before I am able to slice it, because that just helps all of the middle kind of be the glue that holds this all together.
Decorating the tree from this Christmas sun. We forgot what you came for, and in the coffee shop just next door, we talked for hours on end.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in the kitchen today. I had so much fun baking that pumpkin roll. It is still my all-time favorite holiday dessert every single year. It never disappoints. I hope that you really enjoy it and that you got some value out of this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and leave me some comments below and let me know how you liked the pumpkin roll, and if there's anything that you would change about the recipe, maybe to make it better, some stuff I haven't thought of, let me know, because I'm always looking for improvements. And one more time, let's just review the 2 tips from today's video. Tip number 1 for getting through the holidays a little bit smoother as a busy nurse mom is delegating tasks. Assign things to other people to help make the holidays go smoother. You can still have it all, the perfect Christmas, the perfect Thanksgiving, but you don't have to do it all. Don't forget that. Number 2, make things ahead of time. If you have 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, make some things ahead of time that can be frozen. And then later, when you need them, like on Christmas Day, Christmas breakfast, Christmas dinner, you can simply pull them out of the freezer, thaw them out, and use them, just like our pumpkin roll that we made today. Thank you again so much for watching. Your support for this channel means the world to me. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.
From this Christmas song.